Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with the Puma Magnify Nitro 3. You know, I've been feeling under the weather this week. I don't know if it was COVID or some other sort of a sickness. One of my colleagues at this work retreat said she came down with COVID after the work retreat, and we all happen to have the same sickness. So today I'm reaching into the medicine cabinet and pulling out the Magnify Nitro 3, the smoothest, butteriest, most mellifluous shoe in the Max Cushion gang, doing a revisit, racking and stacking some mileage, bringing some levity to your life. Now, if you are looking for a new Max Cushion shoe or some levity or some shenanigans, you are in the right place, and an even better place would be the Refuel app. Refuel app is the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. It's my app. It's a place where people might get a shoe like this or the Mega Blast. I actually have seen a lot of Mega Blasts go on the app recently. Maybe it didn't work for a hobby jogger. They put a few runs on it, and then they sell a $225 shoe for something like $155. True story. True story. So if you're looking to save money on running shoes, or you're looking for a group of people getting after it, being accountable, racking and stacking mileage, putting in work, looking to chase your own goals and share the grind, get in with us and enjoy today's video. Morning rush. The morning rush, man. Everyone's running around like a chicken with their head cut off today. And we've got another rainy day. Was that funny to you? Running around with like a chicken with their head cut off? Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait, did that have a bad word in it?
No, it's just, we don't need to listen to it.
Are we gonna listen to Larry Jude or the football podcast?
I was saying the football podcast.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool. But yeah, another rainy day in Mint Hill here. I think I'm gonna hit the treadmill after dropping Mace off. I did a last minute mad dash inside to grab my gym stuff in my bag, so should be good to go. Be nice to switch it up. I haven't actually gone to the gym in a few weeks because I've been traveling. Right, I promised Charlie no filming while driving today, so I'll shut this off. Say we love you, Mommy.
We love you, Mommy.
Alright, the goose is in the goose nest. Drop Mace off. I'm actually going to be doing a double day today with school driving because we have the fall festival. So it's going to be fun for sure. Fall festival at Mason's school later. They had it on the automated screen out there and everything, September 26th. So I will be back. I'll be back over here later today. But yeah, it actually stopped raining. My initial plan was to go to the gym, but now it's not raining, so I might not need to do that. So I guess I'll just see what the state of the state is when I get back to Mint Hill. But sometimes it's nice to hit the treadmill for some flat miles. Other times it's nice to run outside in the fresh air. So I'm just gonna play it by ear.
Wanted 80 birds, but I got away with words. About to be a billionaire, I'ma say it first. I was found. What you know about a flip phone? String hanging around your neck, being in the zone. Until we get it, we ain't going back home. I'm talking 6 months in.
That's that grind talk right there, man. He said, I ate the same meal for 2 months until I touched 50. Talk to him, Peasy. Let's go.
You can keep it, I don't want it back. Just stay true to the game and you're gonna stay blessed.
Second song on the album, that was an instant skip. I'm listening to the new Peasy album. He was talking about, I'm with my compadres and girls bad as Beyonce, and there's a French Montana feature. We don't need that in 2025. We don't need that, man. That's a skip right there. This song seems more promising. Shout out Peasy in Detroit. I thought these guys were protesting something because they were holding up signs, and they didn't strike me as protesters. It turns out they're just saying that the entrance to the Chick-fil-A is closed. I honestly thought the construction dudes were protesting Chick-fil-A's politics, so it was a little bit of a cognitive dissonance to see those guys so up in arms about that. All right, man. So we're at the gym. It's actually not even raining that badly, but whatever. Sometimes once I get the train in motion of I'm going to do something, then we're just going to do it. It's basically a drizzle, but we're here, so I guess I'll just stay dry. The other benefit of going to the gym sometimes, or not sometimes, all the time, is I listen to music. So I can listen to music on the treadmill, bang out some flat mileage. Maybe it's also better, too, because it will allow for more recovery running on the flat treadmill versus the hills. I don't know. I'm here. I got the plan started. Definitely could run outside today, but it's all good. We'll still get the mileage in, and I feel just about 90% recovered. Man, my brain feels so much better. The brain fog from this COVID or whatever it was crazy. I still sound a little congested maybe, and I had a sniffly nose, and I was caught or sneezing a ton. I think maybe I had a low-grade fever one day, but it's really just the brain fog and the mental aspect. And every time, either COVID or a cold, it just crushes my mood. And I can always tell I'm getting sick because the day before, I'm in a terrible mood. But I kept the mileage train rolling, and there were people in the comments yesterday talking about, you shouldn't run when you're sick. That's a low mileage mindset, man. This is the problem with society today. People want any reason to take a day off. People want to take a day off because they have a runny nose. People want to take a day off because their thigh hurts. People want to take a day off because the weather isn't right. No. Days off are for when you complete the goal. We take days off when we're feeling good. We don't take days off when it's hunting season, man. That's the problem. People are getting soft. People are getting soft with the mileage. Somebody earlier this week said one of my videos was giving David Goggins. This is not David Goggins. This is just what I believe in. I think I tried to soften the message some. I'm not softening the message anymore, man. People want to take days off all the time. And guess what? This is still going to be a 100-mile week. And if you're consistent with it all the time, and if you run consistent mileage for months, years, decades, I've been doing this for 5 years now, doing a 10-mile run at an 8-minute pace for me, or doing whatever the equivalent is of that for you, that's not going to be a huge stress on the body. So you do have to know yourself, right? For a normal person, trying to go out and run 10 miles when you're sick is not a good idea. But I was running 130s this summer, 130-mile week, 140-mile week. So going out and running a 10-mile recovery run at an 8:30 pace, that's not really stress on the body. That's medicine right there. The mileage is medicine. You know, the Native Americans, they used to call lacrosse the medicine game. Mileage is the medicine activity. Man, a lot of these boys need to take their mileage medicine because they're getting sick, and it's infecting me, and it's making me sick. Stop it. Feeling like I'm back today, man. Let's go. Yeah, it's definitely not too bad out here. It's actually pretty nice. It's actually pretty nice and pleasant today. But that's all good. Hey, how's it going? Alright, man, I'm gonna get changed, and then we can pop on the triddy and just get it in. By the way, today I'm rocking the Mileage Department sweats. I've been loving these things. If you have not picked them up, go ahead and pick yourself up a pair as the winter rolls around. They're the jogger fit and everything. I got a medium. I also went ahead and ordered myself a large. I have a few pairs of these in a medium. I don't know. You could go up. I'm also 6'2". For some reason, I keep getting mediums. It's because I'm so thin. The mediums don't fit me exactly right sometimes, and the larges are too big because I got a slim waist with long legs. But this is the medium. They do break in, by the way, so they're gonna loosen up a bit. I really like how these feel and these fit. These are the heavyweight sweats, and then of course, you know, we got the hunting for mileage hat on. These boys not really hunting for mileage. They're hunting for something. I don't know what they're hunting for. I think these boys are hunting for excuses, hunting for reasons to cut mileage. Makes me sick. Shoes today, Puma Magnify 3. Just wanted something simple, light, easy to run in for the treadmill. Yeah, I heard low mileage LLC Incorporated boys are dropping a new merch collection. It's called Hunting for Excuses. Hunting for excuses to skip runs. I heard they're doing a rebranding. Their new logo is just an iPhone keyboard. Instead of making shirts that say mileage, their shirts say comments. Because that's what these guys do. Just comments. It's the type of stuff that fires me up, man. Talking about don't run when you're ill. These guys don't really love mileage. There's a lot of people out there who don't love mileage. I think people like the idea of running more, some of them, more than they love actually running. The thing about me, I love actually running. I will feel worse if I don't run. This is not even a joke. I will legitimately feel worse. The mileage is medicine. I feel better always after I run. It's the same people talking about zone 2 this, zone 2 that. Saying that you should walk to keep your heart rate in zone 2, and then they want to take days off. Stop it. I'm back, man. Oh, we got people on the treadmill. Gosh dang. All right. I'll be on the new treadmill. I don't think I can film myself because we got mad people here today. I'll just let you know when it's done. No, we're good. We're good to go. All right. Goal 12 miles. A low mileage boy, that's the stuff I don't like. Man, my sister was at the desk and they had the Chief Keef going in there. That's not the typical gym playlist, but I guess they knew the low mileage boys were getting out of hand and they had to amp it up on them. Ah! Man, I'm back. I'm feeling like 97% after that run, man. I was 90. What did I say? 90%? Before the run, I'm 97% after the run. Hold on, let me drop the top on a low mileage boy right now. These boys don't know how to drop the top on the Jeep. The only thing they're dropping is weekly mileage because it's decreasing. Make it make sense. You can't stop me. You can't. Man, I really gotta pump. From all this mileage, man. Taking off my shoes. I gotta pump from all this mileage. I feel like the quad daddy Surge, the quad father right now. Look at that. A lot of people think running is cardio. Running might be cardio, but the mileage is a full body exercise, man. I was putting my heart and soul into that mileage session right there. That's a life-affirming mileage session. I'm not even calling these runs anymore. They're mileage sessions. Just getting fired up. Yeah, I ran on the Magnify right here. Magnify 3. This is a great shoe, especially for the treadmill. Puma. Yeah, I'm feeling back. The nice thing about that run and how I can feel that I'm getting back and I'm feeling back is I was getting stronger deeper into that run. And that's when I'm in peak shape, I just get stronger the more that I run. That's why I love the long tempos, the 16-mile tempos and everything. It's always the first half when I'm feeling good is always harder. And then I get stronger and I just bury them. I think I'm so fired up today because I've been feeling so poorly, and now I'm not feeling poorly. So I can just talking to him, man. Let me see what I got this morning. Calibrate and save. 12.2 miles right there. 7:10 pace, 1 hour, 27 minutes, 21 seconds, 135 heart rate. Just getting back to it, man. It's nice to have one of these runs where it's just, yeah, it's nice to have one of these runs where it's just feeling good, feeling smooth. And that's why I'm glad that I came on the treadmill, because sometimes it's just the hills and everything are tough to get through. But solid run, time to go recover. 12 miles in the morning. I'll go get a 4-piece later for 16. This is just a mileage day, no workout or anything, but mileage train is rolling. Feeling back. I feel 98% now, 98%. So hopefully I'll be back to 100 after this afternoon run.
I'm wiping the snow, wipe, and wipe, again.
Home sweet home. The only thing sweeter than the mileage is coming home. And the thing is, I'm going to get more mileage later too. We're not done. We need more medicine. Yeah, that was a real solid run, man. Sometimes it's just these normal runs, getting back into it, that can really swing things. I was just feeling so strong. My legs were popping off the ground, and that's what I've been missing the past 2 weeks. Just my oh gosh, young Doug just screaming. Yeah, just the snap and the pop of those legs. But this is my second week now on the lower mileage level. So last week I did 100 miles. This week I'm pacing for 100 miles, which is lower for me now. And my legs finally have that snap back. And it's funny because my calves are still super sore from running in the fast R3, but my legs just have the snap. So and this is what I was saying earlier. There was this general soreness and malaise and just fogginess I had in my legs from the travel and the sickness. And I think the body just still what's the right word? Acclimating? Still acclimating to the mileage, but feels like I've fully absorbed. And I've talked about these recovery days as absorption before, or recovery weeks as absorption. We want to absorb the work. That's the whole point of cutting, right? We want our bodies to hold on to the higher mileage. So we absorb, and then after we adapt, absorb and adapt. And I feel I've adapted finally. My legs just have that fun pop and snap back. And that run was a lot more enjoyable, man. And it's tough. We take the recovery weeks because we need to, not because we want to. And a lot of the time when I'm doing these recovery weeks, my legs just feel like absolute garbage. So my legs finally do not feel like garbage. It's only been 48 hours since that big workout I did, the 8-mile tempo. It was supposed to be 16, but I cut it. And I'm feeling pretty recovered. The calves need to absorb that pounding still, but everything else is good. So I'm going to go shower, and we can get some fuel in and keep the mileage train rolling. I'm giving out free game daily. They're trying to tell me to take a day off, man. Makes me sick. Makes me sick. I'm giving out grind instructions. I'm giving out a manual to how to get after it. And they want to tell me to take a day off. Make it make sense. Lunchtime, man. Kept it simple and kept it classy. Just as classy as these flowers right here. I mean, take a look at this. These are some classy wheat sandwiches. That's what I'm calling these. The classy wheat sandwich duo. And they're not burgers. They're not. They're classy wheat sandwiches. This one, we have a Beyond classy patty with the farmer's market arugula. And then you're not going to expect this combination. This is some of the Miyoko's scallion cream cheese spread with the dried cranberries. I mean, if that's not class, I don't know what is. Bang! And then over here, this one is just super simple. We have the classy Beyond patty, some more farmer's market arugula, and then the homemade honey over here, or not the homemade honey mustard. This is non-government inspected honey mustard. I actually got this from Meredith. Shout out Meredith for the honey, the non-government inspected honey. Mix that with the Dijon. You ever heard of Dijon? It's a fancy type of mustard, and it makes a nice spicy honey mustard. Bang. And then I may need some sort of a crunchy accoutrement to put on the side of this to keep it even classier. So that's the lunch right there. And then, of course, you already know, bang, we got the whole coffee situation. So this is what I've been doing, actually. When I make my lunch, I make my coffee and I put it in the Fellow thermos. So that is locked, loaded, and ready to go when I need the afternoon coffee. And then when I'm ready for the coffee, bang, I just pour it into the Supwell mug. So that's the lunch right there, just keeping it nice and classy. I have a second today, so I thought we could do a quick update on the Supwell app progress. I like showing you all where we are when I have a minute. So look at this. We got the new homepage feed up and running. We have 4 members in here. By the way, what I'm showing you right now is the Supwell app 2.0, which we are building 100% from scratch. So the current app is on a third-party platform called Circle. This is blood, sweat, and code from the ground up, bro. This is 100% new, which is a complete behemoth of an endeavor, but it means that we have total control and flexibility, and we can build whatever cool features that you all want. Once it's up and running, we're not going to be limited by what another company is offering. So this is the feed right here. My guy Phil has been going crazy with the code, bro. Look at this. We have the members, the posts, the miles tracked, the shoes tracked. So the new things we've done here, we got the user profiles up and running here. What else? We now have the entire split data. So we actually had to pull in different data from the Garmin and Coros APIs. I actually think we got kicked off of the Garmin API. This is the thing about building an app, man. We had to reapply to Garmin because we switched over to the Supwell.com backend versus Phil's backend. But yeah, we're gonna have all the runs pulling through here, all the community posts pulling in through here. The bones of it really coming together, man. And then this is what I'm excited about. I just knocked out a few wireframes over the past few weeks. We're going to have really deep insights on mileage tracking. And I've said this before, but I want to take a run at Strava. I essentially want to replicate and enhance anything that you could do on Strava in here, but better. Because Strava doesn't have any competitors right now. They're also about to go public at a $2.2 billion valuation, and nobody's making a run at them. No pun intended. So this is going to have everything eventually that you can get on Strava, plus the community aspect and training plans that are not generated by AI. So these are going to be all training plans that we've created. Another thing that I'm thinking about doing is having potentially different training plans in here. So not just my training, but having other people offer their training plans in here. So having a training marketplace, I think that could be really cool. Then of course we have the entire shoe database here. Let's check out the Hot Mess 5000. Yeah, and I showed you this last time, but all the shoe data is in here. Well, so it's building something from the ground up. It's a slow grind. It's like mileage, man. This stuff takes time, but it's gradually coming together. And I'm really excited to share this with you all within the next few months. My hope is that what we're shooting for is to have everything, so website and mobile app by January, and hopefully some beta testing for the website before that, maybe November. So stay tuned. I am super excited about this, man. Just the ability for us to have the community in a platform that we are operating, so we could build the features that everybody wants, all the stuff that you've been asking for, the shoe tracking, all the cool shoe insights with the mileage tracking and the training. This has been one of my goals essentially since day one, and we're getting closer to it. But again, this stuff takes time, man. This is the stuff that takes time. Once we get all the features in, then we have to debug everything and make sure it's cleaned up and good to go. And I'm sure even when we launch, there's going to be a few bugs here and there. That's just technology. If you look at any website, even the facebook.com to the world, there's bugs. But this is the process, man. It's a grind. It really is a grind, but just cool to take you behind the scenes and show you somewhat of what we've been working on here. This is my user profile, man. It's the Don of the Max Cushion Gang, aka the Mileage Monster. Boys talking about cutting runs because they're sick. Stop it. It's the type of stuff that makes me sick, man. You see that? That's the MBA. A lot of people think it's Masters in Business Administration. It actually means the mileage been accumulated. Sit down. Run number 2. Run number 2. Grab the running hat. Now we're good to go. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the flow and the vibe back of the training rhythm. So second run here is going to be nice 4-mile recovery run. This is actually, I think, all I need in order to hit 100 with the 20 on Sundays. So I might actually not even run tomorrow. I know I've been talking about taking days off, but we're going apple picking tomorrow, so I guess I'll just have to see. The days like that are typically the days that I will take off for my family. It's like, do I really need to force getting a run in before we go apple picking and ruin the day? Or do I just try to get the mileage earlier in the week? So that's really how I try to plan my schedule with the off days and everything. And stack the mileage when we can so that on the weekends, again, when we're feeling good, on the weekends we take the day off. Anyway, 4 miles, recovery run. Let's do it. Alrighty, man. Afternoon recovery run in the books. And it's funny because I texted Charlie before I left and I said, hey, you can leave Reevesy at home while you go pick up Mace if you want, because I'm going to be back before the time you need to go and I'm going to finish my run. And then I get back here and I said, did you see my text? Because Reevesy was awake. And she said, yeah, I responded right away, which I did not see. She said, I responded right away, and I said, he's not going to sleep, so go run for as long as you want. And I actually didn't have my watch stopped. I just had it paused, but I went through a mental analysis right there, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to go get the additional 4 miles just to make this a 20-mile day for no reason, because I have a long run Sunday, and I want to feel as good as possible. So this is the calculation and analysis that we need to do. Mileage for me is the most important thing, but sometimes we do make these trade-offs. And man, I was hunting down mileage all summer, and now I know, man, the mileage is not what's gonna make or break this marathon 3 weeks out. What's gonna make or break the marathon 3 weeks out for me right now is feeling mentally prepared. What do I need to do mentally? I don't need to put in extra mileage to feel mentally prepared. I need to execute on my long runs well, and I need to execute on my workouts well. So at this stage of the block, it's a balance between holding on to my normal weekly mileage level and pushing and crushing the workouts, or just running them appropriately. We don't need to be crushing and going into the tank, but just running them appropriately. So that being said, 4-mile run, 8:22 pace, average 129 heart rate, solid day of marathon training in the books. If I had to put this on the tier list of marathon training days, it wouldn't be in the banger tier. It wouldn't even be in the, oh no, what are our tiers? Transcendent. This was definitely not a transcendent day. It would not be in the banger tier. It would be one tier below. Just solid. Just solid, man. Morning run, 7:10 pace. Afternoon recovery run, 4 miles, 16-mile day total. Just solid. Just solid. That's what we need for marathon training. Just a lot of consistent work. Consistent work. Bang. Magnify Nitro 3. Man, 16 miles. 16 miles. The 20-mile day is just a beautiful beast. It's a perfect number. There's so many different ways you could get 20. You could get 12 and 8. You could do 14 and 6. That might be my favorite way to do it, 14 and 6. 16 and 4 is also nice because that means I got a bigger morning run in, and then the afternoon is just nice and relaxed. But the thing is, if I get 16 in the morning, I'm usually hunting for 22, and I'll drop an 8-piece in the afternoon or a 6-piece in the afternoon for 22 or 24, and then I'll do something like a 17 and an 8 occasionally to get a 25. But today I just did a 12 and a 4. The 16 is not as satisfying. I don't know why. 16 is a nice number, right? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. There's 16 teams in the American Football Conference, and there's 16 teams in the National Football Conference, the NFC and the AFC, and the winners of those two divisions play in the Super Bowl. So 16 is not bad. It's the year you could get your license to drive a car. A lot of people do sweet 16 parties or quinceañeras. Actually, isn't that 15? So scrap the quinceañera thing, but there's a lot of good things that come with 16. It's just a 16-mile day. Nah. I actually didn't even get a 20-mile day this week. I think I went 14 on Monday, 16 on Tuesday, 18 on Wednesday, 14 yesterday, and 16 today. But that's the thing. If you're just consistent with it, and people always ask me, how do you run 100-mile weeks? It's that right there. Just being consistent with the 14s, 16s, 18s, never letting the mileage drop too low. And it sounds crazy, but I don't have a commute, right? So I save a lot of time in the morning, and I can just run an hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours out here. And especially if I'm not driving Mace, I can get the miles in. So that's how I run 130, 140. But I decided to be responsible today and not get the 20, just go for the 16. And I always talk about with the mileage, the goal is to run as many miles as possible without getting fired, divorced, or injured. However, there's a fourth variable when we come around to the peaking time of fitness. And this is why I don't like racing, especially with the marathon. There's so many reasons, but there's just more that goes into it. What I enjoy the most about running is this aspect right here today, the medicine aspect, how it makes me feel better. I feel more connected. I feel more alive. It's enjoyable to come out here or even to go on the treadmill, move the legs, move the body, spin the legs, listen to some nice tunes. When we're coming into a marathon season, 3 weeks out now, there's all the analysis. We have to do the mileage algebra. Okay, I have this workout that I want to do on this day, so my legs should feel like this, and I shouldn't be pushing it too high. So there's just more variables that go into it when we're racing. That's why I don't race all that much. I like the training. I like the building. I like the progression. The racing to me is just almost a requirement of the mileage lifestyle. So as we're coming in here, I just want to make sure that I'm smarter with it, and the mileage is no longer the number one priority as it was over in the summer. I'm really laser focused right now, especially given the poor workout I had on Wednesday, of just making sure that I set myself up for success anytime where I'm coming into a key session. So that's always going to be the balance. If you're training for something, and if you have a race on the calendar or a specific goal other than running for fitness, enjoyment, in health, is going to be a balance of the volume with the intensity, right? Making sure we get that aerobic volume up, making sure that we can raise the floor, because a lot of the marathon is about raising the floor of our performance. The more miles we do, the higher that floor is. I've raised my floor pretty good, so now it's about time that I start looking at the ceiling, working on the speed, or just sharpening the speed and making sure I can execute where I want to be. And I'll have time next week and the week after to do a few more 20-mile days before we close it out. But I've banked a lot of solid mileage over the past 2 or 3 months. I actually haven't taken a week below 100 in a few months. And man, after that workout Wednesday, I was just feeling so banged up. Just morale was so low. That was, I think, my worst day with this sickness. And again, for me, a lot of it is the mood. So I'm just happy that I can be stacking mileage again and feeling better mentally and just more normal, because yeah, when you're down like that, it's not fun. It's not fun. So 16 miles, 20 miles, it doesn't even matter. I'm just out here moving again. So good place to be. Anyway, Puma Magnify Nitro 3. This is one of those shoes that it dropped over the summer, and I was really hype on it. I was really high, super bullish when it first released. And then the Mega Blast released, and it just kind of fell out of my rotation. It's also one of these shoes that, given the stack height, given the type of run it is designed to do, that I'll pull for it some, but I don't know, it just hasn't become my default for anything. I think also with the Vomero Plus releasing and the Vomero Premium, those are more hype shoes, and I put a lot of miles on those. This also released right at the height of the biggest period of releases over the summer. Hyperion Max 3, Primex Strung 3, Saucony Endorphin Speed 5. So it's just hard for me to get a lot of miles at times on shoes, but we're marching this one up towards 100. I actually don't know how many miles I have on it. Let me do a quick check for you right here. I've been moderate with my Strava mileage tracking, so who knows how close this even is. Once we get the Supwell app up and running, the 2.0, I'll have all the mileage tracking in there, so I'll be much better with it. Let's see. Is this like watching paint dry? Allegedly 56 miles. That seems accurate. So today would have put it to 72 miles on it, and it's just really solid, man. This was a perfect shoe for this day of running, where I didn't need something max stack. I didn't want something that was as tall and cumbersome as the Vomero Premium. I also didn't want a speed training shoe or a plated shoe. I wasn't trying to go fast. It's just a normal daily trainer, right? It's very similar to something like the Salomon Aero Goat. I do think, and I've run a lot in the Aero Goat recently, the gravel edition, I do think the geometry of that one is better. 8mm drop versus 10mm drop. That also just has more of a higher cushion feel in the front. Not a max cushion feel, not a super tall feel, but just slightly more. But this one is really nice. It has this slab feeling. It is just a thick slab. People love using that word, a thick slab of race foam. That's what this is. It's just a slab of race foam, non-plated, really good. The geometry isn't the best with the 10mm drop, but just normal. Disappears on foot. You can run and not worry about it. So for a day like today, where I'm just trying to get back to feeling myself, I'm trying to get the mojo back, I'm trying to get the vibes back. I'm in this transitory period right now. I was traveling last week. You ever have these periods of life where it feels like you're not in a phase? Because there's always phases, right? We talk about seasons of life, phases of life. I feel like I'm not in a phase right now. Of course, there's the broader phase. I'm raising kids, I have Supwell, et cetera, but just within the more of the micro sense, I was in a high mileage phase over the summer. I'm gonna have the recovery and rebuilding phase after this marathon, but I'm in the weird phase. I'm not really peaking, I'm not tapering yet. I'm just coming off of that travel, and then I'm traveling again next week. I guess this is a traveling and a floating phase. I really just feel like I'm floating right now and trying to make it through and trying to be consistent with my commitments. And yeah, it's been hard for me to be consistent with the daily videos, but I'm doing my darndest to keep this up and to keep this going. And just knowing people out there connect with it, it helps so much. Seeing people order the merch and everything and support and be on the app and just be enjoying all the shenanigans helps a lot. And yeah, it's just been, this is the most travel I think I've ever had for my 9-to-5, which is a good thing, right? It means that my company is doing well and I'm going to different events and we're trying to win new business, etc. But it's also, it takes a toll with the time, and it also takes a toll physically, having to travel and everything. Then I'm away from the kids. Anyway, I feel like I'm in a bit of a floating period right now, so just getting a solid day of training under the belt, nothing crazy, was exactly what I needed, and this shoe is a nice match for it. Now, there was a question on the Supwell app today by my guy Devonte Ross, and he was saying, man, I've tried every single Max Stack shoe out there. The Nimbus, the Mega Blast, the Glizzy Max. He might have had the Skyward X on this list, the Super Blast. And he says none of them have quite hit for him. They all feel too bulky. That's where this comes in. This is exactly the shoe that you want if you like the idea of max cushion, but you just find those types of shoes typically to be too bulky or just too weird. That was an issue I had with the Vomero Plus. It just felt like something was slightly off with that shoe, with the heel and the amount of foam. I couldn't quite get it turning over the way I wanted to for daily miles, and it's just a lot of shoe on foot. This thing does not feel like a lot of shoe on foot. It is butter smooth. We call this the butter colorway when it dropped. Is lightweight for what you're getting here. The upper fits nicely. It's just completely dialed, absence of anything bothersome. I actually had one of my worst runs of the year in this shoe, and it's funny now today I had a good day of training in it. I think I don't know if it was the last day. No, it was 2 or 3 times ago where I used this, where I had the really bad run, but it was a 20-mile long run. Again, coming off of travel, man. Travel just wrecks me. I was coming off of travel from the Poconos the day after I had tried to do another marathon pace tempo and fell on my face, not literally, but proverbially. My splits looked like I fell on my face. And I was running 10-minute miles in the heat. And by the way, I don't know if you can feel, you can't feel. I wish we had 4D or 5D television, but you can probably see. Just look at the sun hitting this. You can see that it's about 86, 87 degrees American. Let me get the weather for you just so we get an idea here. 81 American. Feels like 81. That's what they say. I think I might feel hotter. We are going to get some really cool days next week. I'm targeting next Friday, man. Next Friday, low of 52. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. See, I had a really bad run on this over the summer when it was hot like this, even hotter. It was almost 100 degrees that day. I could barely talk after that run. Just tough, just all around tough. But even after that run, I said, man, this is a really good shoe. I can walk away from one of the worst runs of my life and not be completely hating the shoe. And then today, same deal. Good day of training, and I'm feeling like this was an awesome shoe. So the foam is great. It's bouncy. It's comfortable. It's smooth. I think the shoe deserves more love and more pop and more attention than it gets. It's not a super max stack shoe. It doesn't have a crazy geometry. It's not the Evo SL or the Mega Blast, but it is a very serviceable, more than serviceable daily trainer. I think now I can safely say I like this more than the Nova Blast. Just feels slightly more reliable. It's smoother for me. The cushion is great. Also, Grant on the Supwell team, he was testing this, and he said that this was his favorite daily trainer. I think he liked this even more than the Aero Goat. He liked it a lot more than the Vomero 18 and the Vomero Plus. And particularly if you're using the back part of the platform here, there's going to be more than enough foam. It potentially could feel thin in the forefoot if you're slamming the front here. I'm not going to use this for workouts or anything where I'm really trying to drive through the front, but just a really good daily trainer. So if you've been looking for a cushioned, comfortable option that's lightweight and simple, but still has some fun to it and some of the modern tech, I would give this one a shot. So there you go. That's the Magnify Nitro 3, now up to 72 miles. That is also a 16-mile day of medicine. And I'm telling you, man, these runs always make me feel better. And I was half joking earlier, half growling, just getting all sorts of hyped up about people saying don't run when you're sick. It's another one of those things where you really have to know yourself and you have to know your body. And of course, if I have 101 degree fever or I'm doubled over puking my guts up, I'm not gonna run. I mean, those are the types of sicknesses where you barely even want to get out of bed. And I had one of those earlier this year in April, I think it was. The whole family got wiped out. Just a terrible one. So this one, it wasn't as bad. This was more just brain fog and everything. And for these types of sicknesses, man, it always makes me feel better. And even with that puking thing, I took one day off, but the next day I was back out there jogging. And if you teach your body how to adapt to the running, and if you've been doing it for a while, then it becomes like medicine. It really does, man. I think people in this, especially in this country, people take Advil and Tylenol like they're candy. Go outside for a walk, drink some water, eat some food. That's what you need when you're sick. You don't need to be popping Sudafed and Dayquil and Advil. Anyway, is that controversial? I don't know. I think we need a common sense approach to these things, because there's this whole Tylenol thing going on right now, right, with the Trump administration saying that Tylenol causes autism. Do I think Tylenol causes autism? No, I don't. Do I think that we should be eating Tylenol like it's candy? No, I also don't. It's common sense, right? So when it comes to the running, common sense. Am I going to go out and try to run a 16-mile tempo when I have COVID? I actually did try to do that. Would I advise that most people go out and try to run a 16-mile tempo if you have COVID? No. You really have to know your body, and you also just have to be comfortable with the risks. That's the thing for me too. And I said that before I even did the tempo. I said, I know what the risk is. I could be out for 3 days after this feeling absolutely miserable, but I'm okay accepting that risk. I have enough time to recover before the race, and I just know my body, and I don't think that's gonna happen. And here we are 2 days later, and I'm feeling stronger than ever. Yeah, I don't know, man. Use your brain. Use your brain. Or don't. Just go off the vibes. I don't even know if I could say I use my brain. I'm just vibing, man. I'm just vibing. Yeah, today was this is one of those days where I was just trying to get the miles in, trying to hit the weekly goal. Picked a good shoe for it. I hope somebody got some sort of value out of this, or at least companionship as you're sipping your coffee. I got a pre-recorded video for tomorrow. It's gonna be a fun comparison for you all, because I'm going apple picking with the family. And this is the thing, I now feel a responsibility to tell the people who watch daily what's coming, if we're gonna have a pre-recorded video or something, because you guys have my back. You're always here for me, so I want to make sure you know. I don't really care about the people complaining. I only care about the people supporting. So tomorrow we got a pre-recorded video coming. That's gonna go up Saturday night, and then I'll be back Sunday with the long run, hopefully getting some pace work in, and yeah, marching toward this marathon. I was feeling really beat up and down earlier this week, but back at it. Hopefully this next bout of travel next week doesn't knock me down again, but I'm gonna keep a smile on my face. I'm gonna keep racking the mileage, and we're gonna keep coming with the videos every day. So I appreciate you, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Let's start doing citizens arrests at the mileage department. These guys' comments got more characters than their weekly mileage. Stop it. I don't know, man. I'm just clowning.